In the small town of Willow Creek, there was a bustling train station that served as the heart of the community. It was a place where people came and went, full of movement and excitement. Among them was a loyal dog named Max. Max was a golden retriever with gentle eyes and a fluffy coat that shone in the sunlight. He lived with a kind man named Mr. Thompson, who had taken him in when he was just a puppy at MR. Thompson was an old man who loved his dog dearly. Every morning, they would walk to the train station together. Mr. Thompson would wave goodbye as he boarded the train for work, and Max would watch until the train disappeared. Each day, without fail, he would return to the same spot at the station, waiting patiently for his beloved owner to come back home. One fateful day, everything changed for Max. Mr. Thompson took his usual train to the city, but that day was different. He became ill while at work. Before anyone could help him, he passed away quietly, leaving no idea of what would happen next. When the train pulled into the station that evening, Max was excitedly waiting for Mr. Thompson to come home. But as evening grew darker, it became clear that something was wrong. Mr. Thompson did not come. Max sat at the edge of the platform, confused and anxious. The last time he had seen Mr. Thompson, he was waving goodbye with a smile. As the hours turned into days, Max kept returning to the train station, hoping against hope that Mr. Thompson would suddenly walk to the sliding doors, calling his name. The townspeople soon began to notice the devoted dog. Max had a special spot at the station where he would sit, his eyes fixed on the tracks. Some of the railway workers tried to coax him to leave. They brought him food, but he was not interested. Max only wanted to see his owner again. Over time, he became a familiar sight, a symbol of loyalty and patience. As the months passed, Max continued his routine. Rain or shine, he would be there every evening, waiting. His fur became matted with dirt, and his ribs began to show, but he remained steadfast. The story of the dog who waited at the train station spread far and wide. People from neighboring towns started to visit Willow Creek just to see Max. Some brought treats, while others simply sat nearby, sharing a moment with the devoted dog. Among the visitors was a young girl named Lily. Lily was a kind-hearted child with a love for animals. When she first came to see Max, she felt a deep connection with him. She noticed how his large brown eyes held so much sadness, but also unwavering hope. Every day after school, Lily would come to the train station to sit with Max. She would talk to him, telling him about her day and sharing her dreams. Slowly, Max began to trust her. His tail would wag gently when he saw her, and he would lean against her as if to say, "I'm still here." Lily decided she wanted to help Max. She spoke with her parents about how they could care for him. They agreed to feed him every day. Day by day, Max grew stronger, and although he still waited for Mr. Thompson, he enjoyed the company of the townspeople, especially Lily. She even made a few signs asking others in the community to join her in helping him point. One day, as Max sat there waiting, something unexpected happened. A train screeched to a halt, and people began to pour out. Among them, a familiar figure stepped onto the platform, a man wearing a blue cap and an old coat, looking around. Max perked up, his heart racing. The man's features were similar to Mr. Thompson's, but as he approached, Max could see that it wasn't him. But the man felt a deep sadness in the air. He walked over to Max, kneeling down. "Hey there, boy, what are you waiting for?" he asked softly. For a moment, Max looked at him, and despite not being Mr. Thompson, he could feel the kindness in this man. The stranger often visited after that day. Eventually, he introduced himself as Mr. Davis, a travel writer exploring the beauty of Willow Creek. He learned about Max's story and felt compelled to help. He began bringing food and even made a cozy bed for Max at the station. Throughout the following months, more and more people in the town started joining in. They loved Max, and his story inspired them to be more caring towards animals. The little community banded together, not just for Max, but for one another. They remembered Mr. Thompson as they took care of the loyal dog who waited. 3 long years passed since Mr. Thompson's last goodbye. But Max never forgot him. He had changed in many ways, now surrounded by a loving community that cared for him. One bright spring afternoon, as hope lingered in the air, Max lay on the platform, nestled in his cozy bed, his fur warming in the sun. Lily sat beside him. sharing her sandwiches. Suddenly, a loud horn sounded from the train. Everyone turned to see a train arriving. The door slid open, and to everyone's amazement, a familiar face stepped out. Mr. Thompson's son, Alex. He had come to Willow Creek after hearing about Max's story. Max's ears perked up. Even though he had never met Alex, he felt a bond as Alex moved toward him. As Alex knelt down and opened his arms, it was as if Max finally sensed that love never truly fades away. Tears filled Alex's eyes as Max rushed towards him, joy and loyalty shining bright. At that moment, the train station was filled with love, healing, and the understanding that home is not just a place, but the people and animals we cherish. And so, Max found a new beginning, welcomed not just by Alex, but by a community that loved him dearly. The dog who waited for 3 years discovered that true loyalty brings hearts together, even in the hardest of times.